Welcome back to Initial Impression. Today we're going to be checking out all of the UK entries from 57 to 2021. The first couple of videos we've seen the winners and the runners-up of the contest, and UK, especially for that first sort of half of the contest's history, did fairly well. So let's see what went wrong. So UK's first ever entry, only 10 entries in that for 57. Hard to sort of judge this one, 7th place, so more towards the back end. Yes, we heard this one on the last video, runner-up, and perhaps for that year, this sort of did stand out, quite upbeat, quite happy. Nice sort of catchy tune. Yes, another second place here, of course, with Brian Johnson's Looking High, High, High. So 13 entries, so second place. Pretty good result. Probably the pick of the bunch, I think, out of the second places. Again, is that sort of 60s British sound. Great sort of harmony and melody as well, of course. Sort of Christmas feel to this one. Quite a well-deserved 4th place. Alright, so we're back to back for Ronnie Carroll. More of a ballad type. Complete contrast really from the year before. Again, 4th place. Solid position. Again, I can remember this one from the previous video. So far UK, the entries, better sort of, better standard than the more sort of the recent years. Maybe it's just a better era of music potentially as well. But yeah, so far, sort of good songwriting, good vocalists, sort of minimum, simple sort of formats to the song, but certainly a winning method behind it. A lot of these songs could be in a film. It's got that sort of film quality soundtrack. So early 9th place, so still 9th's not too bad looking at more recent years. But a lot of firsts and seconds and top 4 finishes. Still the test of time, this song, of course. You can still hear this in any country across the globe for weddings and any celebration. I'm not sure what other countries did over the 60s, but it certainly seems UK were certainly right up there. And into the 70s, it sort of continued really. Sort of an easy listening feel than I think 60s, 70s British music in general. Just very easy listening and certainly captured the voters. Something a little bit different here for 71. Certainly hearing that sort of transition. Again, a 4th place. Backed up with a 2nd place with the New Seekers. Some great suits there. I wasn't aware Cliff had a 2nd Eurovision song. It's good to know. Don't recognise the song either. But he had a lot of songs, to be fair. So Cliff's he's done his part for UK. A runner-up and a 3rd place. Yeah, same with Olivia Newton-John. This must have been before she became a big star. Not too sure about that one. I think we said Teaching won this one, 75. But a good solid song from the Shadows. Yeah, iconic staple, sort of British classic really, not just for the Eurovision. Some Eurovision winners, the great Eurovision songs, this is just a great sort of 70s song, full stop. Never gets boring. Yeah, not a bad runner-up. So 11th place, which isn't too bad for now. About the time, mid-table, one of the worst positions for some time. Could see why. Black Lace rings a bell. Saying this got a 3rd place, I'll be intrigued what the other entries were like in 1980. Must have been better songs than that one. Even if the song isn't perhaps the greatest, sort of great performance, and it shows sort of the UK sort of really cared for that one. Put some energy into it. Bardo. Never heard of these. I think I'll just briefly pause it there. Something I've noticed, most of these artists I've never heard of. Someone who's got a decent level of knowledge of music from the 60s and 70s and even into the 80s. A lot of these are just sort of unknowns, and I haven't really heard much since the contest for any of these. But it just shows the Eurovision, it gives a great opportunity for sort of artists to become stars for, at least for a short period of time. Of course, some become quite big after the contest as well. I feel like the 80s were a great time for music, but the Eurovision ones I've seen so far from free videos, possibly not the best advertisement for 80s music, on the whole anyway. This sounds like a slight rip-off of the Supremes. It seems older than 84. Not for me. Again, going into the mid-80s, UK still doing respectable, doing fairly well. 4th place. Great effort from Vicky. Seems like in the 80s, no sort of names I really know too much for the UK at all, really. Ricky, so 13th. It's hard to tell if 13th was right, unless I watched the whole year for some of these. Sounds quite good, this one. I think an example of when a ballad is done right, it can do really well. You've got a great voice, so I think that I can't really argue with that one either. I'm starting to see the quality slightly go down. But maybe that's just the sound changing into the early 90s. A lot of these songs are so-so. They're not too bad. Wouldn't say they're completely memorable. 2nd place, so again shows still sort of a relevancy and still having some success. It's not about winning, but it shows still can be competitive. 2 years in a row, of course, with Sonia. I think one of the better British songs for that last sort of few years. Performs it quite well. Quite a nice arrangement to this one. So yeah, of course this is when Ireland were dominating. Must have got sick of hosting it after some time. So again, it's hard to sort of judge the quality.
How many of you have gotten a guitar, tried to learn, gotten frustrated, thrown it in the closet?
It's hard to judge sometimes with quality because it's just that sound of the 90s. Yeah, this is a banger. Again, you can still hear it. Would say it stood the test of time as well. Quite a catchy dance tune. I think certainly one of the better winners and certainly one of the better songs of the contest. Arguably a top 3 British song as well, I would say, in the whole of the contest. Again, it's just catchy, easy listening song. They're not too slow or boring either. Got a nice balance there. Imani, yeah. So 90s, looking at the results, yeah, some mid-table. Mid-table's absolutely pretty good. We've done quite well. Picked up a win, a few second places. Precious. Again, not really heard of any of these. Heard of Katrina, of course, a few others, but yeah, I think 16th is, yeah, probably fair. This song sounds quite good, but maybe the contest, maybe not the right contest for it. Maybe sound better on a radio or at a club. I think sometimes that's it. Some songs are just better, more suitable for the contest. So the winner for 2002. Trying to compare with that third place one. Maybe not too much in it. I feel like I've heard this one before. Yeah, this was an awful one. Yeah, 20 no points. Yeah, I can vaguely remember this one from somewhere. Pretty dismal. Yeah, again, just another one here. Just song might be okay, just not enough to get higher up in the leaderboard, really. This sounds pretty good. Looks pretty good on stage as well. Only 22nd, so I'll be intrigued why that got 22nd for that year. This is awful. Dreadful. I'm surprised this didn't come 22nd or 24th or 25th. That's horrendous. That's gimmicky. Awful. So certainly mid noughties. We went really bad. Oh my. Oh dear, oh dear. Dreadful. Oh my. Andy Abraham. I feel like he was on X Factor. So he only got himself a 25th. Last place for the final. He's got a good voice, but the song's just not enough. It might not have been the worst song, but it's just not enough to get votes. So I think this was maybe one of our last years we actually did anything. So 5th place, Andrew Lloyd Webber, his song. I feel like 5th place was possibly too high, but certainly top half. This is bad as well. Dated. Awful. It's 2010, this is only like 11-12 years ago. Yeah, I've heard this one before, and I think I remember watching the semi-finals as well. I feel like it's a better song feel like they didn't perform it quite to their ability. I feel like that could have easily been a few places higher. Engelbert Herkeldink, I think that's how you pronounce it. Again, big artist in the 60s, 70s. Possibly a bigger name than the song itself. The song wasn't anything remarkable. 25th place, not a surprise. Same with Bonnie Tyler, really. I think she's got a great voice, and of course, her big hits in the 80s are unquestionably fantastic. This song just feel like it just didn't get going. Just not enough impact. What is this one? Children of the Universe, Molly. Again, fairly bland. Nah, not for me. Disgusting. I mean, Eurovision, people enjoy that sort of fun aspect. But that's fun, but bad. Joe and Jake. Again, I'm seeing a lot of sort of last two, last three place. Probably deserved as well, I would say, for the bulk. I mean, I'm not sure what other countries were doing in these years, but we can't argue too much. She sounds like she's got a good voice, but maybe just didn't quite reach the audience in the performance side of things. So this doesn't sound too bad. It sounds like a Euro dance track. But early 24th. Must have been a strong year that year. Obviously can sing. Yeah, not bad. It's last place. Maybe harsh. Just a bit too bland to get high votes, I think. So contest cancelled for the year. Be interesting to see where that would have come. Yeah, poor James. 0 points. I feel like for James, again, I think the song was alright. I'm not sure about the chorus. I think this was one of the songs where I think the verses were quite nice. It started off well, but the chorus just nothing too good about it. It was pretty uncreative, not that creative. Um, but again, I think what it shows is although he's come 26, he got no points. I don't think it was the worst song from the ones I can remember, but it just wasn't enough to get those sort of top 10, in terms of the votes for both the jury and the televote. So, it might be a 15th, 16th place, but it just wasn't enough to get any points from any country. Not too bad, but maybe didn't perform it best he could. Yeah, music sounds alright. That's the last one then. So, what I think, firstly, what do we think? I can't really argue too much. I think in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, we sort of did provide, decent contestants, really. And it was, put a bit of effort into the songs, possibly the artists as well. Had maybe they were a bigger name or maybe a bit more thought process went in, but it certainly did go downhill certainly around that mid noughties. A few of those were, yeah, quite shocking, really. An interesting point, I did hear that we go straight to the final, and I know a couple of people have said perhaps UK needs to sort of challenge itself and gets a better act for the semi-finals. But of course, as part of the big five, I think with the funding, of course, this contest needs it. But I think from me, from a UK perspective, we've shown that we can provide some sort of decent talent, and we just need a bit more time and effort, and possibly look at different genres to really sort of make us stand out a bit more. Perhaps we've kept things a bit safe, or have just gone a bit too silly. Love to hear your thoughts. If you like what you saw, please like and comment and subscribe. Until then, see you again on Initial Impression. Bye bye.